Hello and welcome to Sweet and Spicy Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily. And today I'm covering Sleigh Bells and Slaughter by Alina Jacobs. So, this book is a quick holiday read. It's definitely Christmassy. However, it stars a spooky goth chick, so there's plenty of Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas, which if you know me, that is my jam. I am a lover of holidays. I do love the Christmas, but I also love the Halloweens.
You love the macabre, too.
I do. I like the macabre and the spooky and the dark and the creepy. My house looks like Halloween all the time, and quite honestly, and I'm not going to lie, after the 4th of July, my Halloween decorations went up. So, there's that. Anywho, Sleigh Bells and Slaughter, I give it, it's probably like a 2 on the spice scale, I think.
Okay, so it's a feel-good Hallmarky. It's not
I mean,
really
maybe a 3. It kind of depends. I don't know. I think I gave it a 3, but it's probably more like a 2. It just kind of depends on your definition. With ours, I think it falls more into a 2. We'll go with a 2.5.
Okay.
Normal people might call it a 3, but, people like us, probably not. So,
Would I consider this a 2, or would I consider it a 1?
I think it's definitely at least a 2.
Okay.
I'm just unsure on calling it a 3.
It's not just like, and they made love all
No.
night
I mean,
long,
there's a little bit of description, and he's got a dirty talking self, so.
Oh, okay. So it is a 2. It's got some,
It's definitely at least a 2. I just don't know if it's really a 3. We're going to go 2.5, okay? So.
It's got some flair.
Yeah, it starts pretty quickly and everything. Of course, trigger warnings. There's not really a lot of triggers. It is a murder mystery, though, so murder. There's discussion of an affair. High school bullying is mentioned, secret child, spooky stuff, and death of parents. So
I do know, maybe you just said this and I don't remember, fires is a big one too.
Yes, I'm getting there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't done.
I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
No. Death of parents, also shitty parents, and then fire. Things catch on fire and somebody dies in the fire. So, if any of those things are problematic for you, you have been warned. But for the most part, it's really lighthearted, even though it's like a murder mystery. It's like, tee-hee, murder kind of book, which is probably weird. But, anywho, I like the plot rating because I like the story a lot. So, would read it even if it was just a cozy mystery with no boning. But there is a little bit of boning. So, Lilith is a spooky goth who is a metalwork artist, but she also sells other crafts and items that she makes in the idyllic town of Harrogate that constantly has festivals. I believe other people who have read these books, because these are by Alina Jacobs, who has a crap ton of books that you can read. They're all in the
and they're shorter, right?
They're not too long, so they're good quick reads. They're in the contemporary romance area. Although I did just notice she does have 2 alien books, so I might have to go check those out. So Harrogate has been described by other people who've read these books, I think, as like Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls. I never watched Gilmore Girls. I'm not a Gilmore girly, so I can't really vouch for that.
Gilmore Girl.
Gilgamore?
Gilgamesh.
Nobody's heard of that either.
I have not watched Gilmore Girls either.
Yeah. So, I know it's been described as that, but basically it's like a train ride away from New York. So it's like an outskirt town like that. And it's like where everybody lives, but if they work in the city, they could still go have business in the city. But it's like a cute little New England-y town kind of vibe.
Okay.
So, and this is where a lot of her series, takes place. So all of the characters kind of intersect, and you see different ones in all the books. And as someone who loves a universe, I vibes with that. So.
As told.
I love a universe, and I love to keep seeing characters that I read. I have, you know, I have issues letting go of things and people.
To be
So,
honest,
like, when the book is done and the character's done, it makes me sad.
honestly though, I completely agree with you. As by the deep end, and then we talked about the love hypothesis. Like, I loved seeing reoccurring characters. I like to see where my loves have been.
Exactly.
Like,
I like to know what they're up to. So,
I want to know, did they start a family like they had talked about? Did they decide to wait? Did they decide, what they wanted to do? Did they get married? Did they not get married?
they better have got married. Just saying.
Not marriage isn't for everyone though.
Yeah. Anywho, if you live with someone for the rest of your life and you're in a relationship, you're basically married. Let's be real. So, anywho.
In the U.S., we have a thing called common law marriage. It's a thing.
In some states, not all.
In some states, yeah.
Protect your interest and your assets. Check your state. Because you don't want to be locked out of the hotel room when your significant other is struggling and you're not next to kin. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, anywho, aside from that bit of life advice for you, so Harrogate is this town, which Harrogate also has its own, like, the characters in the town recur in the books. So you, like, see them and how they interact with the different main character. So, like, the side characters are always the same. And I just, I love it. It tickles my tism. So, there we go. So Lilith is currently working at the Christmas market. And it opens up where she's got a very macabre Victorian style Christmas vibe going on that's still pretty spooky, with all her metalwork stuff. And then also she has, she does have, like, a Nightmare Before Christmas mural, because the Mean Girls, it talks about how Harrogate is one of those towns where people are born here and they die here. And so she talks about high school, and the Mean Girls show up. The Mean Girls are in charge of the Christmas committee, which is for the Christmas market that she's selling at. And her number one...
Small town, everybody knows everybody.
Oh, yeah. Small town nonsense.
Business is private.
Correct.
Okay.
So, Patty and Heather and Ashley are the three Mean Girls. Patty is the ringleader, and she is giving Lilith crap. She's like, I can't believe they haven't shut you down. And Lilith has made these little cookies that have spiders on them because she refuses to completely submit to Christmas. Like, her booth has skulls, but it has Christmas hats on them, which is 1,000% something I would do up in my house.
Oh, hands down. I'm really surprised that you don't have the massive skeleton for your yard that you just dress up year round.
Him's expensive, but if we ever, get monetized and loaded, or I win the lotto, there will be signs. And 12-foot Skelly will be one of them. Because I just can't commit to that price tag right now.
Why stop it? If you win all of those things, why stop at the 12-foot? Why not just get a bigger one and commission it?
Well, as far as I know, he's the biggest.
Like I said, you can commission a bigger one.
Listen, Tractor Supply now has, like, this giant deer that looks so freaking cool. Looks like Bambi's dad. So, yeah. But anywho, Lilith has her booth. She does have some Nightmare Before Christmas, so it's enough Christmassy to get by. Plus, you've got to appeal to the people who do like spooky. Mm-hmm. There's not, it's not like it's just her. But, I mean, in this town, it kind of is. So, they're trying to shut her down because she's like, you're making cookies here? You're not approved for cookies. She's like, I don't have to be approved for cookies. And she's like, yes, you do. So, she gives her a ticket. Lilith is irritated. Her sister comes by wanting to talk to her. She has a twin sister, and her twin sister's name is Morticia. It is Lilith and Morticia.
I love that.
Exactly.
When you said Lilith, I was like, oh, that's so cute. I wonder if that was on purpose. And now, yes, it was.
100,000% on purpose. Lilith and Morticia. The dark little twins. And her sister is also a spooky goth, so it's not like they're opposites or anything. Her friend Penny is like a bubbly, crazy person, but they came by, and Morticia's like very nervous trying to tell her something, and she's like, what? And then they kind of are walking away, and then she realizes that they hear like a loud boom and there's a fire, and she sees that Patty's like boots are hanging out of her shed because her unit has like a shed behind it.
Mm.
And she tries to rush in to help her. The firemen show up. Fireman grabs her out of the way and throws her in a snowdrift. And it's too late. Patty is toast. So naturally, because she just had that big altercation with Lilith about her booth, Lilith is suspect numero uno. Primo suspect.
And that's why you fight with people in dark alleyways. No one knows. I kid. That's probably even more suspicious.
Yeah, for real. You're going to get us put on a list if we're not already.
I was going to say, you think we aren't already on the lists? Girl, you talk about tentacles almost every other episode.
This is true. Anywho. Anyway. I had a thought. But anyway. So,
what is your thought? Wait. You said you had a thought.
I was thinking about my next book. So,
is there tentacles in it?
There could be.
There is tentacles in it.
So, listen, this is a nice, happy book. No tentacles. Let me do this. No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Okay. So, Fireman is like collecting evidence. He has a Dalmatian named Smokey because he's so original. And did I mention Lilith has a black cat named Salem?
Of course.
Adorbs. Anywho, they gather the evidence, try to figure out what's happening. He comes to apologize to her, and he thinks she's a hot, skinny goth chick, but then he's like, she also might be a murderer. So there's that. Luke is a fire captain. He is the nephew of the chief of the fire department there. He had moved here because when he was a teenager, like late teenager, he didn't know who his dad was, or his dad had remarried and like has a new family, so he was with his mom who like kept the baby, but then like kind of couldn't handle him when he was a teenager, so she sent him to his uncle. And he's a fireman.
Oh,
and he used to work in the forest division with forest fires, and then now he's here, and he's like, it's a lot quieter, but he was excited because of the shed fire, which then turned into a murder, and he was like, I didn't ask for that much excitement. Understatement of the year. So anywho, he starts flirting with Lilith, and Penny, and...
Is he like Golden Retriever?
Yes. Lilith. Okay. So Lilith is spooky goth, pale skin, dark hair. It describes her eyes as so dark they're almost black. And she wears like Wednesday pigtails and stuff like that. Whereas Luke is a 100% blonde, golden boy, ripped golden retriever.
Okay, so we got Black Cat and Golden Retriever.
It's Black Cat and Golden Retriever, which if you've met me and my husband, you know why I love this.
That is literally you guys.
It is literally us. So
literally.
He loves Christmas. When he first got here with his uncle didn't really know what to do with him, but he took him down to the Christmas market and got him like this sandwich that they make, which is basically like all of Christmas dinner in a sandwich. And he's like,
they
Christmas
do that a lot of the times for like Thanksgiving.
Yes, it's repurposed at Thanksgiving too. But he's like, Christmas is amazing. But anyway, he like kind of talks to Lilith and tries to flirt with her, and Penny's like, ooh, Lilith. And Lilith is just like, no, go away. Like, deadpan, straight face, like, no, shut down. Well, she's trying to figure out what happened because obviously the small town gossip, Lilith killed Patty. Patty's husband, she's like, is it the husband always the suspect? He's not that torn up about it, which Patty is kind of a biatch, so you could understand why.
Yeah, but like, if you're married to somebody...
They were homecoming king and queen, prom king and queen. They were meant to be together, small town lifestyles. So, basically the whole book is Lilith trying to investigate. Luke is trying to investigate, and then the fire chief tells Luke to leave it alone, which he thought was weird. And then Lilith is being told to leave it alone. But they, there's lots of different little things, interactions that happen. She does have Anna, who is a friend of hers who runs a shop, and she gets a spice blend from Lilith because Lilith grows her own herbs and makes tea blends and things. And
as every goth girl does.
Correct. And she
actually, I don't know if that's true. Please don't quote me on that. But anyway,
there's like a 98% chance of it being accurate.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
I grow my own stuff, so I mean.
So Lilith is like delivered stuff to her, and Anna was obsessed with Ricky back in the day and like was supposedly dating him, but Patty stole her. So you get kind of like, what happened here? And then Luke decides to help Lilith get her cookie baking back, because the inspector is obsessed with him. She's an older lady and loves Christmas. So he like makes Morticia, he brings her this Christmas outfit, and he's like all turned on by the Christmas outfit. Like, she does like different little odd things. So she's trying to get ready to get this inspection done and approved. So she decides to go, she does go with him to talk to the inspector, and they like lay it on really thick that he's found a woman, and you know, she's like, oh, I'm cooking him dinner and all this other stuff. But then she kind of gets uncomfortable because he's like very much like, I want nothing more than to fuck you. And she's like, sir. Like, that's why I said it's like sweet, but like this man is just like, I'm old enough to know what I want, and I know what I want. And he's like, I don't have time for games. So he's like, I want to feel your, you know, tight, you know what, around me. Like, sir.
He's a feral golden.
Yes. He's a golden, but he's got a touch of, I guess, Doberman as well. Because he's a bit...
Is that Dobie?
That's what I've been told. That Dobie is still, you know, they got the vibes, but they're also, like, protective and kind of a little daddy vibes or something. I don't know.
That's funny. And didn't we say that I'm like a golden and Dobie? That's weird to me now.
I don't know if I said you were a Dobie. You're definitely a golden, but
but I'm mixed with some because I'm not just a golden, because I will snap at you.
I know I'm a torty cat. You're probably a golden chihuahua.
I would not say I'm a chihuahua. How dare you?
Because you're so short.
I understood the implications. I would say I'm more of a corgi mix.
No.
Because I got little legs. But I'm not a corgi mix.
And you bark.
I don't got the butt to go along with the corgi.
This is why you're a chihuahua. You're a golden wawa.
I am not a chihuahua.
Ask your husband.
I am not doing that. Because he's going to say, no. You know what he's going to tell me? He's going to be like, chihuahua, you're like a frog.
Probably. He would tell you something weird.
You're smart.
He would tell you something weird for sure.
He would. Or he would just tell me I'm a Gim Gim, which is Grim. Which is our black cat Grim.
I know, I'm a torty cat. Black cat and orange cat. There's the chaos and there's the attitude.
I feel like I'm whatever Freya is.
A derp.
Because she's, Because she's so sweet and lovey, but she doesn't like people all that much unless you're like her people.
Amazing.
Otherwise, she will hiss and growl and spark.
We are going on a tangent here.
It's tangent time.
I'm going to name my pin Tangent Tim and let you know that this is a tangent. So.
You're just going to hold it up. It's like.
Tangent Tim says, knock it off.
You're lucky if I actually see Tangent
He has a
Tim.
face. See?
I know he does. I've seen them before.
Anywho, I digress.
Back on track.
Blah, blah. So the man is all like cute, blonde, hottie, but he's also like, girl, I'm down bad, and I want to let you know. And she's like, oh God, I am like ungroomed and things. So she chickens out for going home with him that night. And then she's kind of like, dang it, what have I done? And then of course she can't sleep. So then naturally she goes into the woods with her chainsaw to cut down boughs of holly and pine needles to decorate her booth because A, it's free 99, and B, it's more her aesthetic because she can add like solstice vibe celebration with cinnamon sticks, dried oranges. She cuts out paper stars out of the horrible wrapping paper he forced her to buy just to make it a little more Christmassy. So it's all cute, and he's like, you went outside at night into the woods with a murderer on the loose? Like, why would you do that, Lilith? And she's like, I've been going in those woods collecting mushrooms since I was a child.
Also, she has a chainsaw.
Yeah, also she has a chainsaw, and she's a metalwork artist, so she's kind of hefty strong in a way.
Like,
a little bit.
She'll be okay.
Honestly. So, anywho, really fun part. One of the Mean Girl Brigade, Heather, like, kind of talks to her and is like, I believe you, you know. You didn't, I don't think you did it. Because she, like, brought by food, because they were having, like, a thing at her house, and then they were going to have a wake and whatever. And she's like, you know, Lilith is bringing food. She's bringing the spice blend for the punch. So it's like, she's like, I know you didn't kill her. I don't believe that. So then Heather ends up coming to her because she's kind of like, it's all very suspicious how Ricky's been, like, flirty with Anna and stuff. And then, Luke and Lilith actually caught him and Ashley getting a little frisky. And she's
so Ashley
like,
was jelly.
there's a lot going on here in the Mean Girl Brigade. So, Heather comes to her, though.
It's Ashley.
It's Patty,
Anna.
Ashley, Heather. And then Anna owns a restaurant, but was in love with Ricky previously, but Patty got him first and married him. So he's the one that got away for Anna. But she's not part of the Mean Girl Brigade. That's Heather, Ashley, Patty.
Okay. I know Heather because I literally just think of Heather from Mean Girls.
Also Heather's, the other
not Mean Girls. Heather's, literally.
I was going to say Heather's.
As the Mean Girls. Like the Heather's Mean Girls. That's what I meant to say.
It's very much that vibe.
My brain said, we're going to just go really fast.
It's very much the Mean Girl trio vibe.
Yeah.
So, Heather actually comes to Lilith and tells her, I want to have a seance. And she's like, what? And Luke is like, seriously? And she's like, yeah, seances make me a lot of money. Let's do this. So they go to have the seance, and Heather brings Ashley and Ricky, and Lilith is there, and Anna had stopped by for spice pickup, and then she convinced her, yeah, the more who knew Patty, the better. And she's like, okay, and then it gets really awkward, and then the power had already gone out, so they're just using candles anyway, but letters fall off, like the wind picks up and everything gets all chaotic, and she's asking Patty for any messages, and the letters that she uses on her metalworking kit stamping, they fall on the floor and say, they are here. And then it asks another question, and it, like, answers. Then Ashley asks, can I have your Birkin bag since you don't need it anymore? And it spells no. So everyone's freaking out. The husband freaks out and leaves. Which first he tried to hit on Lilith before that. And said, dang, Lilith, if you dressed like this in high school, we might have hooked up. And Luke is like, immediate no, and grabs him by the arm, is like, go somewhere, bro. Like, ends up punching him because he's being a dick later in the book.
Do not talk to my woman.
Yeah, like, she ain't even agreed to be my woman, but don't you talk to her that way. So, you know, it's a good book. The vibes are there.
The vibes are vibing.
The vibes are vibing. So you have all of this awesome spooky going on. There's also a guy who Lilith thinks she suspects of the murder. He runs a booth near hers in what Patty called the reject alley. And he His booth is about aliens. Convincing people that the aliens have landed and all this other stuff. But he's obsessed with Heather. And he's like, one day, she's never been married. He's like, Heather will come to me because women lower their standards the older they get. I know. He's holding on.
I'll be honest, though.
He's not wrong,
I don't know.
probably.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know modern women that do that, though.
I mean, there's some.
I guess if you're like, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
That's when you go and find a friend who, like, you can just pretty much be adopted by.
Yeah, but as my bonus dad said the other day, Bob doesn't talk back.
Oh my god, I love him.
He has a point too.
He does.
You're welcome.
Bob only likes foreplay.
So, anywho.
I'm sorry, I got hold on. Okay.
So, one of the best scenes is actually before the seance because it's the morning of, and she's there, and Luke was like, that dinner was amazing, because she had brought him a Tupperware and told him, take a picture, send it to Ida, trying to get as good as she can on this. Well, he shows up and he's like kissing her because like he's like very touchy-feely. She's letting him kiss her even though she's like, and then he like just, he's like, let me show you and how much I like this red dress that you're wearing. And he like pulls the top down, grabs her chest in the stall at the market. Then man goes down there, rips off a hole in her pantyhose and has breakfast at the stall.
In public. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely like a 2.5.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
okay,
like
I feel like public sex maybe bumps it up to a 3.
So
but only like a very barely 3. Like it's a teetering 3.
She's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm letting him do this," while also simultaneously gripping his blonde, luxurious hair. So, anywho, but then she has her moment and the sun, and then Heather shows up. And she, like, pushes his head down and pushes him back, like, oh, God. And that's when Heather comes to ask her for the seance. And then later he's there, and he was fixing the electrical. And she's like, oh, so that's who was here this morning. And she's like, great, it's going to be all over town. And Luke's like, what? You're my girlfriend. She's like, when did I agree to this? Anywho.
Like, it's okay, you are.
Anywho, after the seance, he convinces her to go to his place, and he's got, like, old firefighter collector stuff, and then he is, like, going to town. He is making out with her. He is eating the kitty again, and then he, like, takes her to the bed and is just like, now that you've come so many times, I can take you how I want to, hard and fast, and just, like, face down from behind Pound Town.
Okay, I need to read this book.
I told you, and you had the nerve to not read it. Like, it's very, like, the scenes are pretty intense considering the lighthearted bubbliness of everything else. So, like, that's the thing. It's like, oh, he's golden retriever, she's black cat, she's all spooky, he's all ha ha ha. But he's also like, let me unwrap you like a Christmas present and have you for dinner, like, right now. So, like, it's the dirty talk. Like, man knows what he wants and he says it. There's something to be said about directness.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me guess. Don't make me play games. You tell me what you want. Oh, okay. Happy to oblige. Anywho.
It's like, be direct. Tell me what you want.
Best part is, though, after they bone, she wakes up, she's wandering around his apartment, which Salem and the dog get along. They're adorable. She also sometimes will leave the shop and be like, Salem, watch the shop, and Salem literally can operate the cash register. Salem's amazing.
Oh my god.
And Smokey, he does crowd control with the fires. He, like, keeps people back and stuff. So these are, like, the cutest little animals. So it's a great book. There's animals.
I'm just imagining them sitting over, like, treats. Like, Salem's got, like, catnip tea. And, like, Smokey's just sitting there with a bone. And they're just chatting about their jobs.
He gets bones all the time from the food at the firehouse. And then Salem, actually, when they're there after the booty calling, Salem is actually, like, laid up in the bed with the Dalmatian mixing biscuits on his head.
Oh, you babies.
So, anywho, she gets up in the middle of the night, and I forgot a key part here, but I will mention it now. Patty, after the fire, she found this strap that came off of something. And she's like, what is this? And she's thinking it must be, like, a buckle that belonged to... It's not a buck strap, sorry. Ahead of myself. It's like a buckle piece, and she's thinking it must belong to the killer's boots, and she's like been sneaking into like Heather and Ashley's houses and checking their boots, and nobody's missing a buckle, and neither was Patty. She sees the buckle on an antique like firefighting harness that Luke has in his house, so she freaks the fudge out and like scrambles out of the house in the dark. Doesn't even grab her panties and tights, and I mean the tights are ripped anyway, but scrambles out of the house, and she's like, oh my god, he's a murderer. She meets the next morning, and she like gives her friend the buckle, like, keep this safe, and he did it. And she's like, are you sure he did it? And then she's like, she's completely ignoring his calls, all this other stuff. And then she's at her stall, and he's like, I'm going to come talk to you. And she's like, dang it, I gotta get out of here. And then she had walked away from her stall and left. Which prior to this, her sister finally told her what she was so nervous to tell her. Her sister was pregnant. And she thought Lilith would be mad because she felt like she'd been ditched by her since she had gotten a man and all that stuff. And so had their friend Penny, which I will discuss at the end when I discuss a couple other books. And she was like, of course I'm not mad. And then she's like, you're having a girl. Let's consult the cards. And she's like, the Empress, like motherly energy, feminine. She's like, you're having a girl. This will be great. And it's cute in a spooky kind of way. But anywho,
spooky like twin thing. It's a spooky goth
so she's
twin thing.
Yes. She's trying to escape getting to see Luke. However, she walks away from her booth and she's about to go investigate, report to the cops something, and her stall goes up in flames. But Salem was in there.
No.
So she's hauling it, trying to find Salem. She's ran in there, trying to get her cat. And Luke shows up, and he's like, no! Like, he's freaking out. He rushes in there, chops down a bookshelf that had fell across the exit, which explains why she couldn't get out. He grabs Lilith, and she's like, he puts oxygen on her, and he's like wigging out, like, come on, I love you, wake up, wake up. And then, she wakes up, and the immediate, one of his firefighter buddies dropped snow on her face. That woke her up. She woke up, fists flying, and she's like screaming for the cat. And then they're like, why is this crowd so close? Where's Smokey? Smokey had gone in and rescued Salem. He came out carrying little Salem in his mouth.
Yes.
And so they put the pet mask on him, and he gets oxygen.
Besties.
Yes, the little furry besties.
Oh my god.
So she's like, she's still up freaking out, and he's like, he's like, you found my lucky charm? The buckle is from a piece of a strap that he had gotten from a firefighter who visited his class in the first grade, and that's when he knew he wanted to be a firefighter.
And he dropped it when he was trying to put out the fire.
And he dropped it when he was rescuing Patty, or trying to rescue Patty. So this whole time, she's like, wow. Which her friends had told her, don't rush to conclusions. This might be your only shot at a boyfriend. Which I definitely feel like is something that's been said to me before. So, that's fun.
I feel like I've heard it before.
So, that happened, and it's very sad, because now she's like, well, he's like, you're coming home to rest with me and all this other stuff. And she's like, well, I'm free all Christmas. Because he's like, so will you be my girlfriend now that you know I'm not a murderer? Because she had got mad initially at him, too, because she thought he was trying to flirt with her to find out if she was a murderer. So they've had a little back and forth. So then they're sitting there and they're looking at surveillance from the firehouse because he showed her how he had not murdered Patty because he had an alibi. But then they notice the chief acting weird and different things. And this book has been out for a while, so if you want to stop here, no more spoilers. If you wish to continue, we shall do spoilers momentarily. I will take this moment to tell you, Alina Jacobs writes a crap ton of contemporary romance books. So there's the books that are called the Holbrook Cousins, and it's all about the Holbrooks and who ends up dating them. The successor, the Screw Up, the Scion. They're all like loaded and, you know, family rich people drama in New York. Then you have the Frost brothers. They are wealthy brothers who come from a family of problem people. They actually have a sister too, Belle Frost. Their parents were people who are all about image and everything and not actual love, so they have nothing to do with their parents, but their parents are always like, these are my children, they're so great, even though their children don't speak to them because they're garbage. So they have a whole series where they end up helping with this series because they all kind of tangle together with each other. They are partnered up with some of the Svensons, which I'll cover in a second. And the Frosts do this like cookie decorating show, like a dessert Christmas baking reality show. And that's actually how Morticia ended up with Jonathan, because her and Lilith were responsible for set design. But Morticia had to last minute fill in as one of the contestants on the show. And Jonathan was a judge. And that's how they ended up together. So that's how they're connected. And a couple times it comes in films in Harrogate. And then there is the Cozy Holiday, which is, of course, Sleigh Bells and Slaughter. There's also a Holly and Homicide and Crime and Candy Canes. And then there's the Winter Brothers, which also takes place in Harrogate with different families. You have Good Elf Gone Wrong, which that one is also another hilarious one. The Winter Brothers are another group of brothers.
I've read that one.
I think that's the one we read together. And they have a security firm, and they run security for the Richmonds.
Yeah, we did read that one together.
And the Richmond brothers have books, and they came from a rough situation. Their father was a murderer and is in jail. And then you have Weddings in the City, which is about wedding planners who work together and friends, and they were trying to plan a wedding for this billionaire, and then he ends up leaving her at the altar, and then he ends up with the wedding planner, and they all goes through their love. They're all very cute, short, sweet romances, but they do have the spice. Like what I'm describing to you, it's very cutesy, and then it's also like, I'm gonna take care of you, girl. And so, you know, it's a vibe. The Svensson brothers is probably like the greatest, because the Svensson brothers, there's like 50 of them because their father started a cult and a commune like out in the desert. And he was a polygamist. So he had multiple wives. So there's the Svenssons who live in Harrogate. There's the Svenssons who live in Manhattan and run a lot of businesses. And then there's the Svenssons from another mother who all live in Seattle. And she just started writing the books for them. So there's a crap ton of them. And they're all stories about these women who get with them. Some of them, you know, were their secretaries. Some of them are like enemy to lovers, all kinds of fake fiance, all kinds of different stuff that happens. And they're just all these cute little stories. But it's so cute because the Svensson brothers, the oldest one got out and escaped with some of the brothers. He joined the military. They got their money, and then they bought this huge house in Harrogate so they could keep adopting all of their siblings off the compound to save them. So it's like they have hearts of gold, even though they're kind of billionaire assholes at this point. Yeah. So it's like, oh, and then they meet all these women who are like, be nice to your brother, or let's do this, or let's do that. So anytime there's a party, it's like 5 gajillion people.
Oh my goodness.
So it's so cute. And then now there's also this apparently Smart Girls Love Aliens series that she has. And I was just like, oh, aliens. I'm going to have to check that out.
That's right up your alley, so.
Yes. Which on one of the descriptions, one of her descriptions, it says moody billionaire and sunshiny girls who fall for them. And yes, those are red flags, not a bouquet of roses. But it's like, it appeals to you because I can fix him. And they do fix him. But like, you know, in real life, that doesn't work, ladies. That's why these are fiction. Just to clarify, these are fiction. That's fiction.
Fix somebody.
You can't fix him. Anywho.
He's got to fix himself.
So, shout out to Alina Jacobs. I have read several of these books. They're good, they're quick, if you're not trying to get, like, super invested into something. And obviously they're a series, but they can all be read as a standalone. But if you read them as a series, like I said, you get to meet all the fun little characters that make up the towns. And in my mind, they all exist in a little parallel universe, and one day I'll time travel there. So. Or
That's
shift.
not the one that I would want to parallel, like, transfer to.
There's several I would want to transfer to, but, you know, I'm going to just hop. I'll hop around. It's okay. We'll visit different universes.
As much as I love, you know, Fourth Wing, I could not survive at that college. I would die on the parapet the minute I got there.
You still need to review that one.
I do. But I have to finish Onyx Storm first. The Fourth Wing girlies understand why I said I still have to finish it. I'm getting to it. I'm getting through it. It's just a lot. Okay.
So anywho, that's that. And now we will jump back into spoilers.
Yeah, after our nice little tangent time.
That was the tangent explaining to you all the works of Alina Jacobs. They're great. Anyhow, so they realized that his uncles all acting suspicious, and when they were in Patty's house, there was a note on the notepad, but the page had ripped off, and Lilith likes to go to unknown cemeteries and, like, do grave markings with the charcoal, so she did it on the note, and it's basically, Patty was blackmailing somebody about their secret adopted child. So now she's trying to figure out who.
Oh, it's him.
It's the chief. It is the chief. They do figure out it's the chief.
No. I mean the random adopted child. It's Luke.
No. It's not. That's his nephew. It's very clearly he's his nephew. So the adopted child.
Never know.
Well, anyway, it's true that could have been a vibe, but no, he raised him as his uncle, and it's definitely not his kid. So Lilith had done that, and so they were kind of still trying to figure out who that was, because Patty also had a secret war room for, like, the Christmas committee, but also because she was planning to run for mayor. Which could have been bad because one of the Svensson's brothers' wife is the mayor. So they were like, maybe they killed her to not make her mayor. Because everyone has a love-hate relationship with the Svenssons because they're so loaded. They keep doing all these development projects and they, like, schmooze the town. But they do good things for the town as well. So everyone's kind of got to get over it. Yeah. And that's how it goes. So then,
long day at work.
They go to leave the fire station, and the fire station footage, it looked like the chief had grabbed Salem. So then she got a text that I have your cat, because she's like, it's the chief. And then she gets there, and when she gets to the town hall clock where they said to meet, Luke's like, please let me go talk to my uncle before you go in there, because he can't believe this. So she's standing there, and she's looking at the yearbook that is on Patty's little shrine they put up. And she's like, this doesn't have hearts around Ricky's name, because back when she was in Patty's house, the high school yearbook had, like, a heart and all this other stuff over Ricky's name. And she flips to the front of the notebook, and it has the custom nameplate that Patty had on everything. And she's like, oh my God, it's Heather. Sure enough, she goes in the room. It was Heather. Heather had always wanted Ricky. And Ricky still had never gave her the time of day because he was cheating on Patty with Ashley and also canoodling with Anna and never Heather. So Heather is spiraling.
Heather was mad because she probably made advances, did things, and knew everything, and he still was like,
she was helping out. She was so helpful. She was always so friendly, but she was friend zoned and she was pissed. the chief thought that Heather was his adopted daughter, so he was trying to talk to her and get it all situated. And she's like, of course my father's some useless fat chief, fire chief, all this other stuff. So anywho, Lilith and Luke end up saving the day because Lilith throws the ceramic coffee cup from the shrine on Patty at her, and Luke tackles her, and they have to get like gas, because she had gasoline poured on and was going to set the place on fire.
Yeah.
But then come to find out, Penny, who is like a journalist, she had came running up at the end. She's like, officer, arrest this man. He has an adopted daughter, da 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 da. And he's the killer. And she's like, Penny, we're past that. Like, because Lilith had texted them for backup going in, whatever. And she's like, Penny, you're too late. And she's like, his adopted daughter is Anna. And he's like, wait a minute, what? And she's like, yeah, it's not Heather, it's Anna. So that he gets to have a nice relationship with his adopted daughter. And then at the end, her and Luke are together, and they buy a house together, and it's like an old Victorian. And in the epilogue, they are having a big Christmas party, and it's been a year since the last Christmas party. And there's a really funny part because her sister Morticia walks in and is like, Merry Christmas, with a big smile on her face, and Salem hides under the couch and hisses, and Lilith is like, I resisted getting my pepper spray. Then she goes to her and says, sister, and gives her air kisses, and she's like, I know, I won't do that again. And her husband's like, I told you that was the scariest thing they'd ever seen. The smile. Like, both of them who are married to them love their creepy little wives, and it's adorable. Much like my husband loves me and will wander into cemeteries with me, and for the fun of it. And then he proposes to her because he's like, you make every day feel like Christmas, blah blah blah. And then she's like, they're like, speech, because when you have a party you have to invite basically the whole town. Plus, when she invited her sister, he brought all of his brothers, which is like the 6 or 7 Frost siblings. And then of course her friend Penny brought her husband, who's a Svensson, and then that's, like I said, the 57 Svensons. And then the townspeople hadn't even arrived. So massive.
Oh, the amount of food that you'd have to cook.
Well, and all of them, like, kind of cook and stuff and cater all kinds of stuff. It's very big on food, so these books do make me hungry when they talk about food. And then she's like, well, I have a surprise even better. I did to top this. And she's like, Luke, I'm pregnant. And he's like, yes. He's like, we're having a girl and we're naming her Wednesday. And she's like, I thought we would name her Hope or something Christmassy. And he's like, no, I want another little goth, a little holiday goth. And then her sister like shows her tea leaves, and she's like, you could do both, twins.
That's amazing.
It's adorable. And like, okay, I love a book with monster peen, and I like the dark romances where it's like all this different stuff, but sometimes a girl just likes a sappy rom-com.
Oh yeah, like sappy rom-coms are a good time, especially
it's just a good squishy time.
Especially when your brain is like starting to just like dark romance it up, and you're like, okay, I need a palate cleanser so that my brain like resets here.
So this, I would 100%, if you are like getting a little downtrodden in your dark romance girly era, go read some Alina Jacobs. It will bring you right back to Sweet Home Alabama, 10 Things I Hate About You, all those movies, all the romance movies of the 90s, Miss Congeniality, all of that. Practical Magic. All the sappy stuff, guys. That's what you're missing.
She's the man, you know.
Yes, we can go a little later. She's the Man, Sydney White, the House Bunny, stuff like that.
What's the one? Oh man,
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
No, that one's good. There's 27 Dresses too, but that's not the one I'm thinking about. She's All That. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Could be.
It's 90s.
Yeah, that's the 90s. That's going even better back.
I think it's Eddie Prince Jr.'s in that one, I think.
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Freddie Prince Jr., yep. Close enough. Not my era.
The pain in my chest.
Listen, I love Buffy.
Fair. So,
And he's married to Buffy.
He is married to Buffy. They were in Scooby-Doo together.
They were. Sarah Michelle Gellar is the bomb.
So.
Did you just boop Yue?
I did. So, I definitely recommend Alina Jacobs as your palate cleanser. And if you're looking for that fun romance vibe with a little bit of spice, but not, you know, we're not kidnapping people and voyeurism and all that stuff.
But where's the fun in that?
It's still fun. It was still fun. I told you what he said.
I know. It does sound like it was really good.
He was very direct. I love a direct man. Also, it's like this thing I saw, which honestly is, it's very much me, and that's probably why I like it. But it's like, we Aries love a man who controls stuff. I don't listen, but I just like how it sounds.
I remember when you sent me that.
That's me to a T. Like, oh, did you just tell me what to do? That was hot. But also, who the heck do you think you are? So.
That's funny.
So that's, I really like how Luke is all super direct.
I think that's it, right?
That is it. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms, which keeps growing.
Yeah, Sweet and Spicy Pod on YouTube, on
Instagram,
on TikTok.
We're on the talk.
And if you need any of this, just head over to our Instagram and our link tree will be there. I will try to put it in the description of this video, though, as well. Or this video, or this Spotify, because obviously.
However and wherever you're listening.
Please
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Subscribe, follow, enjoy, interact. Happy reading. Bye.
Bye.